In this video, by the end of it, you will frankly know the superpower, and I mean that, to pretty much getting any girl you want. I'm gonna let you guys in with a little story. Whenever I was a few years ago, very few years ago, right? I'm 23 at the minute. Whenever I was 19, 20, age 19 was the age where I kissed a girl for the first time. And I'm not joking when I say that. It took me till I was 19 before I could kiss a girl. And I struggled for years to even just simply get a kiss a girl. I was so embarrassed and so scared and shitting myself because I genuinely didn't know how to do it. So I would cope and I would sit and say, oh, you know, I don't really want girls, blah, blah, blah. And it took me till I was 19 until I eventually did it. It then took me till I was 20 until I lost my virginity. To say I sucked with girls was an understatement. I was frankly terrible. And you know, I wasn't really a bad looking kid. I wasn't bad looking. And if you're someone who's watching this, who's went through something similar, oh my god, bro, oh, hold on a minute. And there was one particular night, me and my friend, I'm from Ireland, so me and my friend went to Belfast for the weekend. And this was during COVID. And this is actually embarrassing. But we bumped into these two girls, absolutely stunning girls, right? Gorgeous. They lived way down south. And me and my friend were waiting to get into this club. They were in front of us. We weren't really talking to them, like we never really intended to talk to them, but me and him would have a conversation with each other. And you could hear them, I could see them in the corner of my eye. And we could see them sort of like glancing, looking at us, like listening into our conversation. And eventually we said something that they ended up turning around and joining into the conversation. Now we knew immediately what they were doing. Like these girls, girls don't do that. If you know, a girl wouldn't. If you're having a casual conversation with your friend and some girl in front of you just starts joining in and talking. Listen, I know some people are going to sit there. Some loser spurg is going to sit there. Some absolute retard. Some idiot is going to sit there and go, "Oh, bro," but they're just trying to be friends. No, they're not. Because if you listen to people like that, then that's the reason why you can't get women. Because you have this idea of women that they're just, you know, oh, you know, that they do no harm or that they don't do anything that, you know, the things that they do, some of the things that they do to want to attract you, yes, you who are watching this, that it wasn't because they were trying to that they were interested in you, it was because they're just having genuine conversation or they're just being genuine. No, they weren't, bro. So for me, these two girls were talking to us, and I'll prove this, and I'll show you. So they were sitting listening to our conversation. They join in the odd time, and we would sort of reply back, and we weren't really trying to get into to you know, pursue them. But eventually they kept sort of butting into our conversation to the point where we all just, the two of us then became the four of us, where we then obviously started just including them and talking away to them. But with zero intention of actually, you know, going home and fucking them. But eventually, like I said, we were sitting waiting out there for 3 hours. This was during COVID, so it was a genuine annoying time, but we were sitting out waiting for 3 hours and we were talking away to them for pretty much all of that. And at this point, you know, I started to learn a bit more game. I started to get better talking to girls. I started to improve massively, you know. But I still was a virgin at this point, so this wasn't whenever I lost my virginity. This is just maybe like 2 weeks before it. So this happened, and they let us into the club eventually. So because we obviously got very familiar with these two girls, we just sat at their table and we all had a night together. And you can tell what happened after that. We went after that. We then walked back to get a Domino's, which used to be really nice, but now they're disgusting. Anyway, so we got a Domino's. Then they ended up coming back to our hotel room. And my friend at the time, who was far better at me with girls than I ever was, like, we all have that friend, you know, we all have that friend who you just look at and go, how the hell do you, how do you do it? Or how, you know. Anyway, he took one of them into the bathroom, started necking them, kissing them. I cannot believe I'm saying this story. So, I was sitting in the room while my mate was in the bathroom kissing one of the friends of the girl. But the better looking one, and we both even agreed to this, the better looking girl was with me in the room. Now, me being a virgin at the time, I didn't know what the fuck to do, because there was this absolutely gorgeous fucking girl, but the better looking one out of the two, who was literally right there in front of me, and all I had to do was say. In my head, I was sitting there thinking, I have to say something, but what do I say? I didn't know what to say. I had no idea, so I froze. And eventually my mate came out after in the toilet, and he sort of looked at me and pulled me aside, and he says, what are you doing? Why are you not, you know, what are you waiting on? So I started panicking and saying, like, the fuck, I didn't know, like, I don't know what to say, man. You know, I literally was like shitting myself. So he ended up, this is even more embarrassing, he ended up taking the friend as well, the two of them, into the bathroom. I am not joking. He took the two of them into the bathroom. I started necking the two of them. And I then eventually whenever that happened, I was like, I felt so bad. I felt like I was the biggest loser ever. And eventually came out, and we all sat in the room, and then eventually they left. And my friend turned around whenever they left and went mental. Turned around at me and went like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you just wasted that opportunity. Now, I understood later on, of course, but I was shitting myself. And apparently those two girls were interested in both of us. Obviously, because they wouldn't have come back to the fucking hotel if they were just interested in one of us. And they were going to have a threesome with them. They were that desperate, they were going to have a threesome with them. Because I just sat there like an absolute twat. Now, that was a very extreme story, but a week after that I just had enough and went out and eventually just went up to a girl in a bar, and like I said, you know, maybe that was written in the stars and I got lucky, and the week after that I ended up doing the deed. But we all have an embarrassing story like that. Maybe you who are watching this have one yourself, or if you haven't, you're probably going to encounter one. We all have a story like that where you sit there and with regret because you wish you did more in a situation where you could have had a very good night. But I'm going to tell you guys what I would have done if I was to turn back time. And what you guys can do, a practice you guys can do that is going to drastically improve situations where you're with a girl. And when I mean with a girl, I mean out on a night out, in a bar, on Tinder, whatever. There's one practice. One. That's it. And it will, over time, the better you get at it, whenever it comes to women, you will be far better. What do you think that thing is? What have most self-improvement YouTubers told you to do? That you've clicked off the video because you're a loser, because you want me to tell you a certain message to say or a certain phrase to say, because you think that that's helpful when it's not, because it's not you know, the reason why people don't give you those tips is because it's not about what you say, it's about the mindset you have. How many goddamn times do people like us have to say this to you? Stop looking at these videos expecting people like me, people like Hamza, people like fucking Andrew Tate to tell you to say, oh, just say this here, bro. Oh, you know, if you want to have a girl, if you want a girl to sleep with you, just say, blah, 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 blah. Because if that's the way your mind is, that's the reason why you're a virgin. It's the reason why you can't get girls, and that's the reason why you'll never get girls. Because you just want the easy route. You do. You just want the easy route. The reason why those things don't work is because I could tell you to go up to a girl and say this exact sentence. It could work with one girl, but it won't work with, it may not work with the next 10. Whereas if you adopt the right mindset, the next 10 you could end up getting. So you see what I mean? So the first practice is meditate. Yeah, go on, click off the video. Click off the video and go watch Mr. Beast. Go watch Mr. Beast, or go watch whatever fucking pathetic YouTuber who just numbs your brain. Go on. People like who are thinking of clicking off right now are the people I don't want watching this video, these videos. These are the people I don't want subscribed to this channel. I want the people who actually are fucking proper fucking men and actually have ambition and actually want to know gain as much knowledge as they can to live an incredible life. I don't want the losers who are 15, 16, or even sadly even worse in your 20s. And you just go on. You're the type of guy who goes on YouTube and you type in, how to make £1,000 an hour in 2 minutes, and you see some fucking loser who in his video doesn't tell you anything, and so you leave with even more disappointment and anger. I don't want people like you watching my videos, bro. So go away and go watch Mr. Beast or KSI or something, or drink your prime. I want people who actually are here to fucking learn, and people are here to actually adopt these methods. So if you're still here, good. You're the 1%. You are the 1%. So meditate. Meditate every goddamn day. Make meditation as common as whenever you go for a pee every day. Whenever you get the urge to go for a pee because obviously you need a pee or you need a piss. Think of it as do the same thing with meditation. Wake up in the morning and you should be like, you know what? I've had my morning piss, now I'm gonna have my morning meditation session every single day. Every day. 10, 20, 30 minutes, go nuts. Go mental with it. Every single day. And I'll tell you what that has to do with girls. Because it doesn't have anything to do with girls. But it includes girls. So it doesn't target women specifically. But I'll tell you why meditation works. And I'll tell you how it works. Now, I'm no goddamn scientist, and I know I'm not Andrew Huberman. I'm not a Hamza. So I'm going to frankly describe it in my own way. Meditation works. It's worked for me in a way where whenever I'm talking to a girl, I'm not thinking in my head, what am I going to say to her? You see what I'm getting at here? Whenever I'm talking to a girl, or I'm on a night out, if I ever am on one again, in the future, which it will be probably, and there's a gorgeous looking girl there that I want to attract, I won't be shitting myself going up to her wondering what to say. Because I've meditated and I've become really good at meditating, my brain, all those thoughts don't go in my head because I'm in the present. Because see, once you're present, you don't have anxiety. You don't think about what to say or how to do. No. Because if you're somebody who's working on self-improvement, meaning you've hit in the gym, you're working on your looks, you're changing your style of clothes, you don't need to know what to say to a girl. There's not a certain pick-up phrase or some cringy pick-up line that 99% of men use, man. I swear to God, if you're somebody who uses pick-up lines for Tinder or girls, you're like, oh my fucking cringe, bro. Stop that. Cut that shit out. Be a proper man, meditate, because see, whenever you're actually having a conversation with a woman that you generally want to attract, you will be in the present, which means that whenever you're talking to her, you will be in a flow state, which means you will have genuine good conversation with her, meaning you will listen to the things that she will say, and then you will just naturally start, like I said, you will naturally start talking properly. You will naturally be keeping the conversation going. You want to know another thing? And I shouldn't be telling you this because, like I said, I only just said one thing, but fuck it, I'm going to give you another piece of advice, or not advice, but another tip that's really, really that's going to work. Now, this actually is very effective. Let her talk about herself. And that's not just for women, but if you just want friends, bro, mainly just people in general, but if you do want to attract a girl, let her waffle on about herself. Ask her a few questions. Now, don't ask her a few questions to the point where it's an interview. Ask her one question, right, about her, maybe what does she work, what job she works, right? This is actually some genuine, valuable information, but this is not going to work if you guys if you don't meditate. If you meditate, then this is generally the type of shit that will get you ass. This will get you genuine results. And if it doesn't, then who cares? Because then she's not compatible with you. But this is one of the most helpful fucking things you can do. Ask her a question. So simply, once you introduce yourself or once you're talking to her, right? Once you ask her a question. Where do you work, for example, right? Let her talk about her job. Let her say blah, 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 and act like you don't really know too much about it. So let's say she says she's a vet. And obviously, don't sound retarded and go, what is a vet? But sit there and go like, what sort of things do you actually have to do? Or like, you know, do you have to put down animals? Or things like, ask her little questions about like mini questions about the job, about the question that you've just asked her. So ask her, like I said, where does she work? And if she says something like she's a carer, being like, oh shit, you know, is that old people or is that children? And then she'll say, maybe we'll say children or old people, and I'll be like, you know, is that what you want to do? Is that the thing you're looking to do for the rest of your life? And then ask her questions where she's going to go down a fucking rabbit hole waffling and talking. And then here's the thing, this is how you can tell if this is a girl that genuinely is like compatible with you. Because if you ask her questions like that there, she will fucking never shut up. She will keep talking and talking and talking and talking and ramble on and probably start going on about some goddamn family secret or some family story about how her life changed and all this waffle. But you do have to listen. Because eventually she'll then turn around and go, holy shit, you know, sorry for rambling or something like that there, and go, nah, it's, you know, it's interesting, and give her a compliment. Say, you're very easy to talk to, or something like that there. Now you're starting to build a bit of attraction here. Keep a bit of eye contact, right? Generally, just let her talk. Always control the conversation. Always control it. Never let a girl control the conversation, because see, whenever you let a girl control the conversation, like whenever she asks you what do you work, and then you just answer the question. Now this is mainly with texting. It is a bit weird if you say this in real life. So if you're texting a girl and she sits there and turns around and goes, you know, how are you? Or if you know the dry conversations. The reason why they're dry is because you let her lead the conversation. Women, and this is, like I said, this is just the truth. Women are absolutely god awful at keeping a conversation going or even starting a conversation. So it's up to you to start it and lead it. Because once you do that, it's just like a primal signal in her head, which is like, shit, this guy can fucking lead. Because see, whenever you're able to just keep a conversation and just keep it going and make it interesting, then she will be attracted to you. Then there's a higher chance, of her being attracted to you. Because if you have to force conversation with her where she's a bit dry and then you keep sort of pushing it, she's not interested, bro, move on. Simple. Don't keep going, because then it just gets awkward and weird. Then you look like a creep. If she's replying with lengthy replies, like if you ask her where does she work, she says where she works, and then you ask her something like, or no, I'll give you another thing actually. Now I'm actually spilling the beans here, but you know, I actually do give a shit about the people who watch this, who actually have stuck around, not the losers who've gone and watched Mr. Beast right now, who probably have their pants down and their knob out. They're not the people I care about. I generally give a shit about the people who are actually watching to this length, who watching this far. So one thing you can ask her is word it like this. Remember, I know I did say earlier, don't say certain phrases, and I mean that. But there's certain things that you can say to make it easier for yourself. And that's all I'm going to give you. I'm not going to hold your hand through this process. Say, do you work or do you study? And she'll probably say, I work, right? Or she might say she studies. Then ask her, where do you study, right? Then ask her, where do you work? And then ask her, let her talk for a bit and let her answer that. And then say, I don't know, go, oh shit, so what does that, I don't know, let's say she says, do you work at, she's a vet or some shit. Say, I don't know. You could say something like, have you ever had to put an animal down? Like that, like ask her an interesting question about her job. That doesn't come across as like an interview. So if she says she's a vet, for example, right? Ask her, have you ever had to put an animal down, or have you ever had a scene, have you ever done it, or have you, whatever, something like that. And she'll say, blah, 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 blah. If she says she's a bartender, ask her, I bet you've had some, what's the worst interaction you've had, because you've bound to had a few. And she'll then think, And then she won't think, then she'll be like, oh, there was this one guy who came in, blah, 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 blah. And then, like I say, just keep going. Now, don't keep asking her fucking questions. But let her ramble, let her talk. Just let her talk about herself. But don't do it in a way where, like you said, you're constantly asking questions. Keep the conversation natural, keep it good, and keep it engaging and fun. But to do that, you have to let her ask maybe a few questions, very, very, very few. And let her just talk about herself. Then after, that's whenever you actually have this is whenever you grab your testicles and you slam them on the fucking table. Give her a genuine compliment, right? This is where you can actually compliment her about her appearance, right? Now, it depends what you can really do here. I normally, I don't know if I should be revealing this. No, you know what? Okay, I will reveal it. I simply, if the conversation is going really well with the girl and like we're keeping eye contact, and she's like keeping good eye contact with me and she's smiling and she's not like, if she's getting closer to you, if you see her slowly getting closer to you, cut the shit and literally, this is what I normally do. I just say, you know what? What's been going through my head? I'm a bit distracted, but what's been going through my head the past 5 minutes? And she'll be like, what? Just said, I really want to kiss you. To her, she will go, fuck, whoa, okay, Jesus. There you go. Now, if she makes up some excuse or whatever the fuck, then she's not interested and she's just probably fucking around. But if you generally do actually, like, you will know if she actually is properly interested. She'll probably say something or you just go in for it. That's generally how you like properly do it. That's my tactic and the way I do it, and it's worked for me massively. It doesn't work with every girl. And there's some girls where you think it will work with and it doesn't. There's some girls that just there's some girls that it's just so easy where to the point where you don't even need to go that far. There's some girls that I've literally done this on where I've asked them maybe 2 questions, 3 questions, and fucking the lighting is horrible here. Holy crap! Where I've asked them like 2-3 questions. Like the conversation's only went on for a few minutes and already you get stuck in. Because it is all down to just a bit of luck. You do need to get lucky. Do those things. So we'll recap, right? Meditation. Let her talk about herself. Right, because people are selfish. That's just the truth. Everyone's fucking selfish. Everyone cares about themselves. That's the shallow world we live in, sadly. Ask her a few questions and let her talk about herself. They sort of come into one. And then once the conversation's been going on for a good while, then you start to show the level of interest. Because if you don't, then she's just going to think you're a friend and she's going to put you in the friend zone. So you need to, once you do meet this girl, mainly if it is on a night out, then say to her something, just cut the bullshit and just say, listen, fuck, just be honest. Be like, literally, like, everyone sits there and goes on it, oh, that's the most vague thing to say is honesty. Bro, if you use honesty in the right way, your chances of getting a girl skyrockets. Watch Joe Delaney's older videos and he says the same things. See, if you're just fucking honest, if you're just honest and you do it right, it will fucking work. And I agree massively because it's worked for me. If you're literally if you're talking to a fucking girl and you're having a genuine good conversation with her and it's going well, just say to her, just say, listen, I'm not gonna lie, the past 5 minutes I blanked out because, and then said, you know why? And she'd be like, why? And she'll probably look at you and go, fucking, I don't know, because I really want to kiss you, or I think you're gorgeous, or blah blah blah, some bullshit like that. And if she likes you, she will that interaction will go really well. If you say something like, oh, I really want to kiss you, or all this horse, no, don't say I really want to kiss you, just say I want to kiss you. Don't say I really want it, because then that just makes you look a bit desperate. She will smile, she'll look at you, and most likely she might be a wee bit shy, she might not know what to say, but if she holds eye contact and smiles with you, then you just go in for it. If she says, what are you waiting for, she gives you like a nice reply, there you go. But you see, if you don't do something like that at the end, even if the conversation's going well, she will put you in the friend zone, or believe me, she will lose respect in you, bro. It's a tough fucking game out here, But you do those tips and you implement those things, but none of those things will work without meditation. I guarantee. You can go up to a girl and ask her. You can be the best at conversations and you don't even know, because you don't fucking meditate. If you meditate, these things, like, you just go into a flow state where you just start fucking talking and talking and talking. And there's some girls that are easier to talk to than others. Some are just really shallow and stuck up, and it's near impossible to talk to them. Those are not the type of girls you want. You want the girls who are good looking, and you want the girls who generally are easy to talk to and like good to talk to, because those are the ones, like I said, where you're just you're gonna have so much success with. So meditate first. If you like this channel and you like the shit that's coming out of it, subscribe, because there's a whole lot more.